Hello everyone and welcome back to the Great Book of Grudges. My name is Nathan and today we're going to be talking about the Old Realms mod. This is the Warhammer Fantasy conversion for Mountain Blade 2 Bannerlord. The devs have posted their monthly updates and they want to show off some new stuff as they get ready for the launch of their next playable build. Something which many people have been waiting for because, yeah, it's Bretonia, and who doesn't want to play with Bretonia? So, we've got a little bit of artwork here, some renders of Empire General armor, some Bretonian shields, but we're going to jump into the meat and potatoes of this. So the developers have added in a brand new career system, and yeah, let's discuss this. For the upcoming release, we plan to introduce a new gameplay mechanic that will be, for now, mostly beneficial for non-casting characters. So no necromancers and so on. Our system will work on top of the base Bannerlord skills and basic logic, allowing the player to choose their gameplay career and advance it during a playthrough, allowing for a specialization of sorts. So kind of like a class system, which is kind of cool. Bannerlord obviously is very sandboxy, but adding in a little bit of a class system will focus on a certain style of play. Let's continue. These careers will provide unique combat and campaign-related buffs or abilities that are exclusive to that career to ensure that each playthrough has the potential to be unique. Of course, each faction will have its own unique set of careers that will have requirements to access. So no vampires being warrior priests, for example. Fantastic, yeah. Class system. This is fantastic. I love it. It has been some time since we have added some combat-focused mechanics. We have had a lot of fun playing around and expanding our magic system, but there is more to Warhammer than just magic, unless you're playing 8th edition. Yeah, let's continue. So for this update, we wanted to give some diversity and opportunity to any non-magic related playthroughs to change things up. The desire behind this mechanic is mostly to present a sense of progression that is missing in base Bannerlord. Ain't that the truth? While the skill system from vanilla is still there, it lacks a little oomph when playing a campaign, especially a campaign in the old world, allowing us to have our own factional skill trees, if you will. Warhammer has no shortage of archetypical heroes, such as Grail Knights or Warrior Priests, and so as you start a new playthrough, you'll be given the option to choose a career you wish to pursue. This is temporary. A skill tree related to the career in question will be unlocked, so that as you play you can progress and adapt your role to whatever your ideal career may be. Usually these careers also come with an ability, not necessarily magical, that can be used in combat. These abilities can be modified or buffed by spending points in the skill tree. As you level, these powers become far stronger and so forth. So we're going to look at an example, which is the Grail Knight itself. So this is your skill area when it comes to Bannerlord. On the left hand side is the basic skill stuff that is pretty much known in vanilla. Obviously at the bottom there's some other stuff which is focused on the mod, and in the top right hand side you've also got your career and your spell book. So that means it'll be easier for you to change your spells around and so on, and obviously for your career also. Yeah, I kind of like this because it looks like it fits, and that's a really important thing. It looks like it actually fits with base Bannerlord. Now, the developers also have added in some clips into this, and they've sent it over to me in a higher quality, so yeah, let's check it out. We do have some information, so on the left side you can read the career description and you can notice below the career ability. During this playthrough example, you will progress through the stages of the Knight Errant and Questing Knight to finally become a Grail Knight. That's awesome. So yeah, you start off just trying to actually hit that, right? This is a really important thing in Bretonian lore. The career ability is called the Knightly Charge, which makes it easier for you to plow through enemies on horseback with a couched lance for a limited time period. Okay. During the active ability, for every point in riding, the chance of your lance remaining couched increases until eventually you have a 100% chance that it won't be interrupted. Okay, this is actually sounding pretty interesting. I like cavalry builds, I like charging in a blaze of glory, and obviously with a Bretonian faction, it's what you expect to do. The 5th perk in the choice groups will usually modify your career ability. For the Errantry War, it allows your one-handed combat skill to be counted towards your career ability, whereas one perk in the Questing Vow will stop your horse from rearing during the ability. Great, that's the annoying part. Rearing is usually an annoying part because you feel like you've got a really good charge. This is like on vanilla and so on, and it stops your charge, right? Let's check out the clip because we actually have a spear check here. That was actually fairly good. I'm looking forward to the Bretonian release so we can actually do that in person. So yeah, let's continue. Passives, on the other hand, increase your characters, heroes, or your whole party's capabilities on both the campaign and in battle by giving extra damage to certain combat attacks or reducing wages, recruitment costs, and so forth. So, for your next question might be, how many careers are planned for our first release of the system? We plan to release 5. Most of these careers are melee focused, kind of makes sense, especially with the Bretonian push. We will provide a nice cross-section of talents where some perks and benefits even reside in the realms of magic and ranged combat. In the future, depending on how well the system is received, we plan on increasing the selection. Also, we want to make clear that it's for now in its beta state. Yeah, that makes sense. Obviously, anything that's, especially with a mod in a game that is constantly changing, yeah, it's going to be a beta state until it can get locked down. So stuff might not be as balanced in certain cases. They're probably just testing it out. Feedback, especially from the player base, is very, very important because there's some things that the players might find that the developers might not. Specific quests for these careers will not be included for now, which obviously makes sense. And yeah, they want to show off some vampires too, so yeah, let's check this out. One of the careers for the vampires is Vampiric Nobility. So this is going to work like a everyman faction, all the bloodlines combined, obviously not being the strongest, but the jack of all trades, master of none, and the career ability is Mistform. The vampire transforms into a fog that is impossible to catch and can fly wherever the player wants. Alright, pretty cool. The ability lasts for 5 seconds. The duration can be increased for each point in athletics by 0.03 seconds. The Mistform can be deactivated at will by pressing attack. Okay, so this is for you to get onto the walls easier and so on, which means that you won't have to wait on the ladders and, you know, get swarmed by enemies. You can get to another point, protect yourself whilst your units are climbing up. You do have some information too with like the Lordly. There's a few things here. This is pretty cool. Honestly, this is actually pretty cool. I'm liking this because it's generic vampire, which a lot of people do like, but there is another one in example here too. This is for the Blood Knight, and the career ability is known as Red Fury. The Blood Knight channels their rage towards those who oppose them. For the next 6 seconds, melee damage is increased by 45% and physical resistance by 10%. Damage and resistance are further increased by 0.05% for current weapon skill. That's actually quite good considering that weapon skill is quite easy to level up as long as you are quite an aggressive player. I tend to be with Bannerlord, to be honest, so should be doable. There's a few different abilities here you can see for the career points too. There's quite a lot actually. I'm quite surprised. This does look like a really good system. I can't wait to see this, well, in person. Now, we can also, before anything, check out a clip of how the actual Red Fury works. So yeah, let's check that out. That was actually pretty cool. The damage output is quite interesting. I'd love to see how the vampire playthrough goes with this. See, I normally did play a vampire, but I focus quite heavily on skills, spells more like. So it could be interesting to do a proper Blood Dragon playthrough. It'll definitely give me reason to revisit the vampires when this build is released. First up, I'm going to play as a Bretonian, though, because I want a glorious cavalry charge. I can't wait to see more that comes from this. Hopefully it's not too long until we see a playable build. I don't know if they actually gave a date for the build, but I'm imagining it's getting closer and closer, considering that obviously now they're showing a lot of gameplay here. They're talking about a new system which is going to be implemented and so on. But yeah, just a little update because I know you guys are quite interested in this. What do you guys think about this so far? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I'll have a link directly to the blog there so you can check it out for yourself. And I'll see you all again very, very soon. Have a good day.